Well, this is weird. Usually, I'm a veritable treasure trove of references and knowledge about a franchise I'm discussing. But honestly, I've never played these games before, so we're sailing into Uncharted territory. As I review the new film from PlayStation Productions and Sony Pictures based on the wildly popular Uncharted games from developer Naughty Dog. Directed by Ruben Fleischer, the film stars tiny Tom Holland as Nathan Drake, a scoundrel with a heart of gold, who goes on globe-trotting adventures, solving centuries-old riddles in search of ancient treasure, with his shady companion, Victor Sullivan, played by a notably non-mustachioed Mark Wahlberg. Now, I'm a sucker for a good treasure hunt through ancient catacombs, and not only did I enjoy this film, I would say it's a game changer for video game movies in general, because it's a fun adventure film people can enjoy in its own right, without any prior knowledge of the games. So the success of this film bodes well for video game movies going forward, because like comic book movies, it's no secret they've had many pitfalls, but with Uncharted they seem to finally have a pretty good handhold on what fans want, for the most part. Whether this film is gold or fool's gold most likely depends on how big of a fan of the games you are. I know a lot of fans had problems with the casting. Even I, having never played the games, know Tom Holland didn't feel quite right for Nathan Drake. And while I would have preferred another actor in the part, the studio didn't just throw his name at the wall and see if it would stick because he had success climbing around as Spider-Man. Holland, a first-time producer on this project, originally pitched a young James Bond movie to Sony, but when the studio turned him down, he suggested Uncharted instead, which is ironic since years before Steven Spielberg himself wanted to direct a Bond film, and when he couldn't, he and George Lucas made Raiders of the Lost Ark, the quintessential treasure-hunting adventure film that would later inspire the Uncharted franchise. And between the success of Spider-Man No Way Home and the Uncharted film, Tiny Tom is turning out to be a veritable gold mine for Sony, living up to Nathan Drake's motto, Sic Parvis Magna, which literally translates to, thus great things from small things. You know, that's a pretty wizard catchphrase. Has a nice ring to it. Anyway, now I don't want to spoil the plot, because like a murder mystery, the fun of a treasure hunt is solving the clues and riddles along the way. But what I can say is, this movie takes a lot of inspiration from Uncharted 4, A Thief's End, which is Tom Holland's favorite game of the franchise. And one of the things I enjoyed about this film, aside from the adventure and exotic locations, was the humor, which came from natural character interactions, rather than ham-fisted MCU-style jokes that undercut any tension the film has managed to build. As with all good treasure hunts, Nathan and Sully are in a race against time, against a dangerous rival expedition who are also in search of the fabled Lost Treasure of Magellan. And in true Uncharted form, the villain is an evil businessman with a mercenary army at his command. And while I enjoyed Antonio Banderas' performance as Santiago Moncada, the main antagonist of the film, one of my biggest problems with the movie as a whole was the resolution of his character. It felt rushed and lacked impact, especially when compared to the finale of Uncharted 4, where Nathan Drake has a sword fight with the main villain in a burning pirate ship full of gold. Now, if you've seen the trailers, you know pirate ships factor into the finale of the film. And how cool would it have been to see Tom Holland have a sword duel with Zorro himself on a burning pirate ship? It was a golden opportunity that they sadly let slip right through their fingers. There are a few Easter eggs for fans of the Uncharted games, and even some other titles from Naughty Dog. A gold nugget Drake hands to Victor Sullivan resembles a precursor orb from the Jak and Daxter series, proving the old adage that to the victor go the spoils. As I said earlier, I had a really good time with this film. I felt happy leaving the theater, which is a rare thing for me these days. There was no agenda pushing, which I appreciated, so for that reason alone I would recommend it. According to director Ruben Fleischer, he is in fact interested in continuing the franchise, if it is successful. So far, it's made $226.4 million at the box office, and following the film's opening weekend, Tom Rothman, chairman of Sony Pictures, described Uncharted in an interview as a hit new franchise for Sony, which is good news for anyone who wants to see the series continue. But before we go, I would like to thank a trooper with a heart of gold, hero of the Empire. I'm just happy to be a stormtrooper, Adam Jordan, who's pretty much the only one keeping this channel going at this point. The Empire thanks you for your generous donations to the channel, my friend. Your support is greatly appreciated. If you have enjoyed our content over the years, please consider donating to our PayPal. A link is in the description. Any amount helps, and your support will help us to continue to bring you weekly videos. And if you're new here, join the Empire today by subscribing. You do not yet realize your importance. Share these videos, and together we will rule the internet. And always remember, you don't know the power of the dark side.